Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today with this brief video. We are going to cover today a best practice workflow. This is the first in a series of best practice workflows from Population Health Solutions. Our presentation team today is myself. I'm Dr. Jen Bolduck. I'm a Vice President in Population Health, a pediatrician and clinical informaticist. And with me, I have Brian Sowers, who is a Senior Product Manager on the Population Health team as well. So the first clinical workflow that we want to share with you, this best practice, has to do with patients who have not been well engaged with their health care. And what we're trying to do here is identify patients who have not been seen over a certain period of time. Clinicians will have different varying comfort with how long they want to go between seeing patients. And they might want to, see patients every 6 months. They might want to have sooner. They might want to have longer. But certainly, patients who haven't been seen in a couple years are really at high risk, and we would like to identify those patients and contact them. So we're going to show you how to do that. We'll jump right into the presentation. And here we are in Population Health. We're in our Inform tool, and we're going to go right down to Patients Not Seen. And here we can see for the entire practice, we can see that patients haven't been seen for varying lengths of time, right? So that's what I meant. There are some that have last been seen between 3 and 6 months ago, and that may be fine with you. They're in the light yellow. In the mustard yellow, we have patients last seen between 6 months and 1 year ago. In the pink, between 1 and 2 years ago. This may still be okay in certain situations, but in my mind, when I was in practice, patients seen more than 2 years ago are almost automatically at high risk. Those are the ones at the end of the day, when I'd seen patients in front of me and taken care of them, it was comfortable, I would start to think about those patients, who am I missing? Who haven't I seen in a while? And in my EHR, I wasn't able to find those patients, but here in Pop Health, we can. So in the spirit of that, let's drill down on a specific providers group of patients. I'm usually Dr. Jeff when I play around in the system. So we'll be Dr. Jeff Sinclair. And you'll see that number drop down to 48 patients. We're going to go ahead and click on that 48 and generate that list of patients who haven't been seen in more than 2 years. That's still a lot of patients to manage, so we're going to sort this list to find those patients who are at the highest risk, and this is here with the ACG risk score. You can see that there are a number with a risk score of 3. We're going to filter the list now so that we can select down to that number of patients. Add them here. Some funny ones, Bob Newhart, amongst others. So we'll create that list. And now we're going to send that list over to NG Care to take action on that list. And so, Brian, you're going to take it from here.
Great. Thanks, Dr. Jen. Pretend I'm the nurse or a care manager in the NextGen EHR system, and I can go ahead and bring that list in so I can take action on it. I can take many different types of actions, but to access our integration touch point, which we call NextGen Care Population Management Hub, or Hub for short, we can come here and select it. And then we can come down here at the bottom of our work screen to select import, and we can go ahead and import that list into the system. That list will display here up under my list, and we can assign it to our appropriate teams or person or team to work. So I can come down here and select that patients not seen list. So here again, here's that 8 patients that Dr. Jen found in our system. So I can select one or all patients. Let me go ahead and select all patients. And you can see some of these different actions that we'll touch on as we go through the different scenarios that we can do on the list of patients, a patient or a list of patients. For today, we're just going to go ahead and reach out to the patient with our outreach tool. And I can come here and search for a specific campaign that I've already set up. So I can type in patient, find my campaign that I have patients not seen. And then I can go ahead and select that. And then when I hit select, those 8 patients, we would reach out to them with our outreach engine. We can reach out to them based on the patient's preferred method that you've captured in the demographic screen, whether they want to receive an email or a text or through the portal. We can send that message out in many different ways, including a voice and letters and things of that nature. We can also send it out in the patient's preferred language. We don't do the translation, but we can send it out in the patient's preferred language as well. and we will document it in the EHR. So if you go into the patient's demographic screen template, you'll be able to see the communication log in there of all the communications that we sent out to the patient. So we can send that message, call that patient to action, have them book their appointment to get them back in and close that gap in care.
That's great, Brian. Amazing how seamless that can be. So what we've shown you so far is one simple clinical workflow. In less than a couple minutes, you're able to identify a group of patients who haven't been seen in a long time, right? And you're able to then reach out to them and re-engage them in their care. So just a wonderful way to reach out to patients in less than 5 minutes. And the result is that the patients have the opportunity to return to the practice and re-engage in their care. Thanks for your time, and that is the end of scenario number 1.